appreciate Ollie for recording all these podcasts because you are giving all your sins, you are giving all your energy to make it possible that we are recording the phonics series. So now let's talk about the letter C. Okay, so C, sometimes people are confused. Sometimes it sounds like a S sound, sometimes it sounds like a K sound. So today we will learn like what's the difference and why is it, all right? But before this, I need to tell you how to say letter C. There are two types of C, all right? A hard C and a soft C. Okay, like the hard C is a normal sound of letter C, like we say K, okay? We pronounce it from back of throat, K, K. And this is a hard sound, but sometimes these sounds change and we have some exceptions and we have some rules why it becomes S sound. So we will see the rule, okay? But first we need to say the letter K. K is powerful and you pronounce it back of your throat, okay? So let's talk about first the letter S, because it's most important, because why the K sound become S sound. So here's one rule. Remember, whenever you see after C and after C or C is following any sound of three, okay, letters, letter E, letter I, and letter Y. So E-I-Y, E-I-Y. So whenever you see they come after letter C, they become like, so that C sound like a sound, okay? It sounds like a letter S. Interesting. You prolong it and you pronounce it like a soft or unvoiced consonant sound, okay? And you push a lot of air as well. Sound, okay? So let's do it. So here we have some chart. Here we have a chart and you can see the words. So the first word is very important, that is city. And you see after C there is an I sound. That's why this C becomes city. Though the final T is a D sound because C, the T is surrounded. Before T and after T there are two vowel sounds, so that's a city. The soft D is a glottal T. But the C in the beginning is a S sound. Why? Because right after C, it's the rule, like if you see three sounds after C, E, I, or Y. So then we pronounce C as a sound. So it's a city, city. And next is a scent. Scent, after C there is a E. Okay, scent. And then we have dancing. So after C, you see there is I. So again, C is S sound. So we are just observing, like after C, if there are three sounds, E, I, or Y. For example, we have word cycle. Cycle. So right after the first C, you see there is a Y sound. So first C is a sound. And the next C, after the next C, cycle, you see there's an L sound. So that C is a hard sound, okay? So the first C is soft and the next C is a hard. So we sounded like a cycle, cycle. All right, we have the next word, ice. C-E, okay? The E is there. C is following E sound. So it is ice, ice. And then we have a certain, certain, okay? Certain. So right after C, there is again, there's an E. So it's a certain, certain. Okay. Next is a face. Face. After C there is an E, and then we have a receive. Again after C there is a I sound, E sound. That's why that's a S. Receive. Receive. Okay, let's have some practice with the C, especially when after C there are, so it's a blend. We have to recognize, we have to follow the rules. So the first one is a ceremony, right? Ceremony. After C there is a E, so the C is ceremony. Next is a circle. So after C there is I, okay? E, I, or Y. Whenever they come after C, so the C is Again, it's a circle. Now we have a case study word. It's a criticize, okay? Criticize. Is a soft D here because before and after T there are two vowel sounds. So this T become like a D. Criticize. Next word is a citizen. Citizen. C is because of I. Citizen. Chance. Again, the final C is a sound because of the E is there after C. Then we have a century. After C there's an E. Century. Then we have the word center. After C there's an E. Center. And then we have an accent. Okay? After C there's an E. Cent. City. And circus. Good job. So here you notice in the last word, CI is a S. And then after, in the last C, it's following the U sound, so that's a hard C, okay? Circus. Okay, let's have some more practice. Certain, fancy. So like after C, you see in the fancy, after C there is a Y sound, so we call it fancy. Or we have the word of face, eyes, cell, and a cycle. Yes, the final C. After psi, C is following Y, that's a S sound. And the final C, the next C is following the L sound. So we say cycle, okay? Dance, celery, okay? Cyclone, clone. First C is a S, and the next C is a K, hard, soft and hard, all right? Cyclone, and a cereal, and a ceiling. Okay, so let's look at the C as a hard C, which is very common, and you pronounce it like a K sound, okay? So in the K sound, we have so many words here. Let's have a look at the chart. The first word is a car, and then we have a cut, okay? Cool, and we have a curtain, and a carpet, and then we have the confuse, okay? Confuse, that's a different one. Cord. So do you notice, like right after the C sound, there are E, I, or Y isn't there. That's why this C is a hard C, and we pronounce it like a K sound. Okay, let's have some more practice. Okay, it's a college. It's not college, okay? College. So there's an O sound, and then we have a colony. Colony, collapse, always a reduced sound here, and a collapse, and a cold, and then we have a come, okay, and a command, okay, and a common, and a company, and a compete. It's very hard, okay, very hard, and you pronounce back of your throat, computer, all right, or compute. And a conflict, and then we have a connect is a contact, and a contain, and a control, control, cook, cool, and a copy, okay, correct, crown, and a crow. So we have the word cotton, and crash, because CR here is a blunt sound with the letter R, and you say cur, and then we have an ash, crash, and then we have a carotid, and a crops, crowd, and we have a cut, and a cross, crush, class. Good job, class. So there are some exceptions as well, like when you see, we pronounce the first and the second C as a K sound in some different situation. It's a noticeable situation, okay? So it also can happen. So we'll see in some other podcast, okay, with some more sounds. So till then, take care. Bye-bye.